we have a tendency to get our stress kind of manifesting different ways. Like we get like stress hives, so we get headaches, but we never really kind of correlate that. And we just deal. Hello, and welcome to the We First Podcast, Season 2, Episode 11. Let's talk about something that not just perimenopausal and menopausal women have. Stress. The stress cycle no one sees. My name is Marge. This is my cousin and co-founder of Awendra. We are the makers of Mind and Motion. Ria, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. But yeah, as we were saying just before we filmed, stress is a part of life.
It is. It's not like something that you just live with and be like, oh, you know what, stress is just part of it. It is what it is. It's not something that you can't just take and be like, oh, it is what it is, and so I'm just gonna survive and accept it as it is. We just can't.
No, we're not.
But, girl, there's no such thing.
No.
Do you? I'm just gonna totally bypass this intro and checking in with you. Do you meditate?
I do meditate, although for a while I haven't been meditating. I've been praying more, I would say, and that sort of replaced my meditation a little bit.
Well, that's kind of like meditation. I can't.
Yeah,
so
I
the
think
reason why I asked is because I cannot meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Because my brain just runs like a superhighway with several different layers of information just going on at the same time, completely unrelated. It just goes. But speaking of praying, forever ago, and I say forever, like 5 years ago, I used to drive to work every day, and my commute was over an hour. Mm-hmm. I think I've mentioned this. I was baptized Catholic, but at some point I decided I was going to be agnostic. But even then, during my drive, I just sit there and I'm like, hey. So this is what's going on. Maybe you want to give me some direction. That's how I pray. That's what that's what I used to do. I love that. It is, and it's kind of centering, and I can totally see how meditation could help, or how prayer acts like meditation, and it kind of helps get you centered. But let's go and talk about stress. Let's talk about everything that's happening. What are your stressors lately? Let me ask that.
I think mine is more the family situation,
Okay.
Sharing responsibilities with my brothers and my family. And I think it's when I try, because I have a mom, my dad passed away already, right? So I would like to share the responsibility with my two other brothers. But since I'm the one who is like them, they have small kids. And my son is already very independent, working for 1 year. So it seems like there's no memo, but I am the one who is supposed to take care of my mom, like especially financially. And then I understand that, and I love to take care of my mom. But I would like also for them to share the responsibility with me. So yeah, so if I talk too much, that is what's causing me stress lately. It's things that I cannot control.
Well, I'm gonna share this too. Culturally, number one, you're the daughter. Number two, you're able physically, financially. So you're right, there's no memo, and it becomes default. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, and it's not like you don't love your mom. Like, we do. I'm the same way. I take care of my mom.
Yeah.
And so I completely understand that. And the sad part about this is because you look like you're holding it together, like you're showing up, you're doing it, everybody thinks it's okay. Like, oh, you're doing great, sweetie.
Right?
You're still living and you're not showing any signs of stress. Mm-hmm. And they really don't know that internally, a lot of things are bothering you and you're exhausted and you just feel the physical weight. And a lot of women, actually not just women, men too, we have a tendency to kind of get our stress kind of manifesting different ways. Like we get like stress hives, so we get headaches, but we never really kind of correlate that. and we just deal. And I think that's probably awful, and it gets worse, especially for us who are in midlife, because we have this constant stress cycle. But because we're presenting as okay, no one notices.
Yeah.
You know, we're very good. We're very good at you know how they have functioning alcoholics? We are functioning stressed out people.
Yeah. That's what we are.
Yeah, and then we keep moving, and what we don't talk about enough is that as we go through this age, again, going back to the sandwich generation topic, as we go through this age, when you're in perimenopause or in menopause, like in my case, your body processes stress quite differently. And I don't think anybody realizes that, you know, because all of us just look at stress, oh, whatever, it's stress. And nobody really kind of correlates that the hormonal shifts that's happening when you're in perimenopause or menopause is kind of impacting this, probably making it worse.
Yeah.
I think that's an issue. Our estrogen helps regulate cortisol. You know, I think I've talked about this at least a couple times in all of our in our other podcasts. When we have cortisol is supposed to come out in bursts, right? But when you're stressed out, cortisol becomes a drip. You have it constantly. And constant cortisol drip in your body is not good for your organs, you know. And when that happens, lots of issues come up, right? Your sleep gets affected, you know, it gets disrupted because they said cortisol like peaks at like 3 a.m., which is why all of us wake up at 3 a.m. almost every day.
Yeah.
And going back to what we were just talking about on the previous episode, sleep disruption kind of reduces your brain's ability to recover from stress because you're not sleeping. And then because of, you know, hormones, your blood sugar will swing. It'll make your nervous system more reactive instead of proactive. And years of responsibility just kind of creates this chronic cycle, if you may. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I think that a lot of us as women too kind of face this a little bit more than men, unfortunately, because not very many, or at least I don't think, personal opinion, I don't think the responsibility is balanced, especially in our culture. But I do know that it happens in a lot of other cultures as well. If you're financially, I mean, if you just happen to be a man and you're the financially able one, I promise you the physical responsibility of having to take care of your mom would not have been yours. Yes. And I know that that's true. I mean, because if this was a man, all you have to do is throw money in it and it won't go away, but the responsibility won't be yours. So 100%. I think that's, yeah. So I think that's like the kind of like one other factor that impacts this. And, you know, once again, cortisol, if you have it and it's elevated and it's consistent, it kind of starts putting kind of your body into a survival mode and starts affecting your organs. That's why our blood pressure is high. That's why we get pre-diabetic. Some of us actually become diabetic.
Belly fat.
Oh, that's the worst.
Cortisol, belly.
Yeah. Yeah, your visceral fat, you know, that's the other, you know, that's actually probably the most visible effect of high cortisol in your body. And then you just hate everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what is causing it. So let's talk solutions. How do you break your stress cycle? What do you do?
I go for walks. It's helped me a lot, walking, and I do it with dogs. I do it with our 2 dogs. I love them, and just touching their fur, it helps me regulate my stress. Because what stress does is it makes well, of course, with the addition of our shifting hormones, our nervous system is always on high alert. And when your estrogen is always shifting and your progesterone is low, it's hard for the body to sort of like come back to the baseline. So we're always on high alert. So sometimes you just, okay, I quit. I quit. I'm just gonna walk and not think about anything, not do anything. It helps a lot. It's like emptying my plate. It feels like that.
Instead of quit, maybe you just say pause. I'm gonna pause. I will
Yeah.
think about this later. I tell my staff that. Like a lot of times it gets crazy stressful at work and everyone's like, oh, I can't take a day off or I can't leave because there's a lot of things to do. And I'm like, dude, get off work. It will still be there on Monday.
Yeah.
And that's,
Exactly.
I think we need to give ourselves, the other thing is that we really don't give ourselves permission, especially us women. I think we expect too much from ourselves. It's kind of sad, but it's absolutely something that we need to do. And the sad part is once it's a cycle, it becomes part of who we are, and it becomes a lot more difficult to break. So, there's a lot of things you can do. We talk about nutrition all the time. Walking, absolutely a suggestion for me. And the one thing that I think we need to talk about too is to kind of prioritize your nervous system recovery.
Yeah.
Sunlight is beautiful. So this is a while back when a lot of people were still going to work. They said that people who have windows in the workplaces are a lot happier than people who work in workplaces who don't. Because sunlight just, kind of gives you that calming, relaxing feeling.
Absolutely.
And yeah, give yourself quiet time, give yourself meditation time. Those of you who can meditate, like even just breathing for 10 seconds, that kind of helps you kind of lower your spike and take it a couple notches, down. Other things too is take some supplements, right? Take magnesium, take omega-3s. Those are all kind of like supplements that support your mental health. And gosh, if you can reduce your mental load, you don't have to take everything on. Everything doesn't have to be your responsibility. Let go.
Community. We need
Yes.
community.
Yes.
It's very important to talk about these things, right?
Be like Elsa and let it go.
Yeah. That's why we have our Facebook group. You're welcome. Everyone's welcome to come dump anything if they want there. We have a menopause coach, certified menopause coach over here. Marge, our partner. So
if you just want to talk,
yeah.
If you just want to talk, we'll do that too, right? Ask your questions, post them. We'll comment and respond. And really, you have to remember that just small, consistent changes. That's what you need, and it'll kind of help bring your nervous system back into a little bit more of a balance. That way, you're not stressed out all the time. Stress will happen. You're right; it is a part of life, but there's a way to kind of control the amount of stress that you put your body through.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what is your promise to yourself this week?
Actually, this week it's been very nice here in Costa del Sol, where it's always sunny. But this year it's extra special. It's been cold and rainy, so I promised myself to get out of the house from at least before 9 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. and just enjoy the sunlight, because I don't do that often. I take my tea, I drink my tea, walk the dogs, and then go to the gym, and I usually finish around 9:30, 10. But this time, that's my me first promise. I'm gonna go get some sun while it's still healthy sunlight. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you live in a vacation place.
Yeah.
People go to Costa del Sol for vacation. I'm gonna go there someday, maybe in a couple of years.
I have to.
Maybe in everybody, all of my coworkers are telling me that Spain is one of the most beautiful places to go to, and a lot of them have been there. Actually, do want to go back, so I'm definitely gonna think about that. Before I share my own me first promise, I kind of want to invite everybody. When we do this, you need to also make your own me first promise on how you are going to put yourself first. I think we need to remember to do that every week. So for me, I'm going to do better at interrupting my stress cycle. Sometimes I just stress on things until I black out. So this time I'm going to be a little bit better in interrupting my stress cycle. What I've been doing, I'm going to tell you, is I've been getting up out of my desk and out of my office to have lunch with my mom every day. And that kind of helps.
Nice.
Yeah. I kind of don't want her eating by herself. So I'll do that. And just like you said, I may not be able to go for a walk, but I'm definitely going to step outside and try to get myself a little bit of fresh air. You know,
Yeah.
one thing I can't promise this to myself because if I do, it's completely a lie, but I will really, really put an effort to it. Putting your phone away before you go to bed. Like maybe half an hour, just put it down before you sleep. This is really something that I'm really, really trying to do, and I can't. But I think this is something that I'm gonna work on, because that will definitely help with sleep. And if you sleep better, you're a lot less stressed.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have come to the end of our episode 11. The stress cycle many women experience in midlife often goes unseen because we always show up. And you're still managing your responsibilities and you're still supporting others. But your body is asking for a different kind of care now. So when you start supporting your nervous system, your energy, your mood, and your resilience, all of that is going to begin to change. So start doing it. Be part of the Me First movement. Like, follow, and share this video. Follow us on all the socials, the Awendra and Awendra Health. Try our product, our Mind in Motion, available now at awendra.com or at the TikTok shop. And subscribe to the Me First podcast. And this is where we put ourselves first. Because if we don't, who will? Everybody, we will see you next time. Have a wonderful week. Goodbye.